Country Fry here. I'm doing a little bit of testing this morning with my Rode lavalier mic. I kind of want to get an idea of where I need to set the dB levels on the when I'm doing outside work. But while I was doing so, I thought I'd take a moment and give you kind of my thoughts on the 2022 GMC Canyon. I purchased a Canyon just a few months ago. I've got about 6,000 miles on it. And so I thought I'd just give you a few thoughts on some of the things I like about the Canyon, and some of the things that are kind of, maybe not. Originally, I was looking at the Chevy Colorado. The Canyon and the Colorado are basically the same truck. But when I flipped over and started looking at the Canyon, because I couldn't find Colorados in today's market, man, I was wowed. And the thing that wowed me with the Canyon is that front grille. That blacked out grille, in my opinion, just really sets this vehicle off. And of course, the GMC Canyon Elevation, which is what we're looking at here, two-wheel drive, comes with the fog lights that you see there. That was real important to me. The blacked out wheels were very important to me. And really, what really set this vehicle to the top of my list above the Tacoma and other type of trucks is the Elevation. With GMC has 18-inch wheels and tires, and that made a big difference. I was looking at the Tacoma with those 16-inch wheels, and I just couldn't see it. Now, there are some things that I've done to this vehicle that are not standard equipment. One would be the side rails. Even though it's a mid-sized truck, it's a little easier getting in and out of than a standard truck. Those side rails can really make a difference with regards to getting in and out of the vehicle. I did put a tonneau cover on the back here. Now, there are several versions of tonneau covers. If you really want security, the hard tops are probably the way to go. I don't necessarily keep a whole lot of things in the back of my truck. I use a tonneau cover more for rain protection when I'm traveling, because I do have equipment that I take with me from time to time. And when the wife and I are traveling, you throw suitcases in the back, and you need something to keep the rain off. This particular Canyon has the towing package, as you can see, because I tow a small boat. I have a 17-foot Ranger bass boat that I put in the water all the time. This is the V6 Canyon. That was the other thing with the Toyota product. I just couldn't see doing a 4-cylinder. The 6-cylinder is the only way to go in a pickup, especially if you're pulling a boat. This vehicle with the tow package does have the 7-pin as well as the 4-pin connections that you can see down here on the left. Excuse the little towel there to cover my license plate, a little bit of privacy there. And it does have, the standard receiver hitch so that you can pull your boat. The other thing that I've done with this particular truck, instead of a bed liner, the one thing that I've done is I've gone with what's called a bed rug. I managed dealerships for 17 years, and the thing I noticed about the typical bed liners is they had a tendency to rust the bed. Or develop rust underneath it and start to rust out the bed, and I just didn't want that. This is kind of a unique deal because it does handle chemicals without staining. You can throw the same sand and dirt, grit and grime. It'll power wash out, very, very durable. But the unique thing is underneath it is an additional waterproof pad, so it doesn't allow water to seep through. It's actually put in by a taped Velcro, and it does very, very nice. I love this thing. It keeps things from rattling in the back of my bed. And the other thing is, and I found this online, is a storage container. And then I use the storage bars in different places throughout the back of the bed so that things don't slide around. It works out really well. They do make a toolbox that spins around if you need those type things. It's a hard case, it's got a lock. I didn't need all that, and so I went with something a little simpler. The other thing I really love about this truck is the actual tailgate itself. Because it is a soft drop tailgate, you don't have to hold it all the way down. It will lightly lower itself, very easy to put back up. Interior-wise, I'm not going to suggest that the rear leg room is anything special. You do have room for 4 full-grown adults. A little tight in the back, I think, for adults sitting there. But if you got kids, it's perfect. Seats do fold down. The top of the seat will actually lay down flat on both sides. So if you need to lay something in that fashion in your truck. The other is the lower seat. There's some storage in the lower seat. There's a handle here. You simply pull it up. Let me see if I can get this with my foot or my knee. Get it started. It does raise up, so you have some storage. Is it a lot of storage? No, but it does allow you to keep things. I typically keep an air compressor in every vehicle that I have. I also keep those small jump boxes in my vehicles, because you never know where you may need those when you're out and about. The jump boxes are great, the little small ones, little 1,000-amp ones, because then if you run into somebody that needs a jump, you don't have to risk your own vehicle by connecting wires from your vehicle to another. Those jump boxes work out real well. Headrests will actually lay down so that you have a little bit better visibility in the back. It's a simple process, just flipping them up. They'll flip up and they'll stay. And then you have the slider. And unlike the Tacoma, it's not going to be a power slider, but who cares? I have that slider open maybe once a year. So it's really nothing to me. The other thing I do, because I'm on the road so much, and I do a lot of business on the road, is I invested in what's called a car desk. And a car desk allows me to keep my files, various things that I need, as if I were in an office. It is padded with a rubber fitting, so I can lay my computer up there without it sliding around. And on the other side, it has a slide-out desktop. So you can use the top of this, and then there's an additional slide-out desktop, so you can run a computer, tablet. There's other versions of this that will actually let you mount your tablet and things of that nature, but it's one of the things I've added to this vehicle. It's strapped in with a seat belt, so it's not going anywhere, and it works out real well when I'm on the road. Now, the one thing I can say for sure that I'm not real happy with are the door panels. You got a little bitty space here, a little bitty space here, and you've got a hole here that may or may not hold a water bottle. Do us all a favor, GM. Just make a big trash pocket, because that's all we use these things for anyway. So I'm not real impressed with that particular part of the vehicle. But let's walk around so you can see the other side, and we'll take a quick look inside at some of the things that GMC's done. This particular truck is not a technology monster. I love technology. My last vehicle was the Toyota Camry, and I had the vehicle lane departure and all that stuff. It actually drove me nuts. So I was glad this vehicle does not have that. Did come with a power seat on the driver's side, though, as you can see there. You can see what I typically use the door panel for on this side is a lint brush. That's about all that thing will hold. So it does me fairly well. And as we get in for you, I'm going to turn this engine on so the AC kicks on a little bit. The one thing or a couple things that I've done with this particular vehicle, it does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so you can plug in, but I got tired of plugging my phone in and taking it off when I leave the vehicle and plugging it back in. So I invested in what's called AA wireless. I know the sun is kind of coming in this way, so it's hard to see. It's about $100. It actually stays plugged in. So as soon as I get into the car or into the truck, it connects to my phone. Takes just a few seconds, because I use GPS a lot because I'm on the road a lot. And as it pulls up, you can see it automatically pulls it off my phone, goes straight into GPS. So it is a magical tool. It's worth every bit of the $100 I spent on it. Took a while to get it here, but like I said, I use it every day, and it is absolutely awesome. The only downfall that I've seen with it, it does, glitch every once in a while, but it doesn't really show caller ID. Now, it'll show what's on your phone if you have a name that's posted in your phone as a contact, but it doesn't really show caller ID, and I wish it did. So that's a little bit of annoyance, but it's well worth the money. The other thing I do in my vehicle, and actually I do it in all my vehicles because I'm on the road so much, is I invest in a power supply that plugs into the power supply in the truck so that I can actually plug my computer in when I need to. You know, these laptops are very limited as far as how long they'll stay up and running. So it's nice to be able to, if I have a long day, rather than driving all the way back to the office, I just park my truck and pretty much use my truck as the office. It fits very nicely in this cubby hole here. And then you see the switches down here. One of the nice features with the towing package is it does have a switch that you can depress that is geared for towing, and it allows the vehicle to tack out a little bit higher, so your transmission is not shifting back and forth too much as you're towing. And one of the other things that I love here is most of the time when you're in your vehicle, the only time you see your rear view camera is when you're in reverse. Well, this actually allows you to turn that rear view camera on when you're parked or when you're at a standstill. It's not going to work when you're actually driving, but there are times, especially when I'm towing, if I'm at a stoplight, I'll actually turn this on just to check to make sure that everything is secure as it should be. The screen is very responsive. The size of the screen is nice. The one thing I have noticed with the screen is it doesn't really spot up with your fingerprints and things of that nature. I'm not sure what they're using, or at least I haven't noticed it as doing such. But I kind of like the screen. And it also has climate control in this vehicle as well. You just set the temperature and it will stay on that. You have to click the auto, obviously. I've turned it off so that I can not have all that noise. This is the side of the desk I was telling you about. It does have a slide-out desktop where you can attach your clipboard, things of that nature if you're working off a tablet. But this thing works out really well. One of the other things that I can't say is a really bad thing, but it could be better, is the center console. It is very deep, so you are able to put a lot of things in it, but it keeps it in kind of an unorganized fashion. One of the things I've done is I purchased a tray that actually sits in the top. You can find them on Amazon. They're about 15 bucks. It's not much, but it does allow you to keep some things in the top that you would typically need and can get to, and you don't have to fumble around through this deep canyon of a center console. You can see it's pretty much, you just throw it in there, and that's pretty much how life works with this particular console. But the things that I need and use on a regular basis, I can throw those up on the top and keep those fairly organized. Overall with this truck, I absolutely love this truck. There are some things I wish that GM would do. One would be the intuitive cruise control, that makes adjustments for you. Okay, so the camera got a little hot there and shut off abruptly. I apologize for that. But I had just started to say I absolutely love this truck. I've had trucks in the past. I think probably my most favorite truck years ago was the Dodge Dakota quad cab. That was a great truck. This truck has been awesome. It drives smooth. Now, if you're coming out of a sedan into a truck, you're going to have to redefine what your definition of smooth is, because a truck smooth ride is not anywhere near what your sedan is. So don't anticipate a sedan driving a truck. These trucks are built with heavy suspensions. They're designed to do things that cars are not meant to do. So, but overall, I've absolutely enjoyed this truck. I'm planning on this being my last truck. I'm actually that old. I'm getting ready to retire here in a few years. And so I plan on keeping this as my overall truck. Seems to hold up real well, drives real well, accelerates real well, and I'm absolutely in love with it. So that's it for me. Just a quick review of what I think about the Canyon, and wish you all well. Appreciate all of you. And I'm Country Fry, and I'm out.